Yo, peace and blessings, everybody. It's your homie DJ B-EZ. And then we also got a special guest DJ M. Dot in the background. We're going to interview him in another 15 minutes and whatnot. And the main guest on the main camera, ArtmuZeum.
Peace.
What's cracking, my G?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed. I'm actually on the third day of this, 3-day juice cleanse detox and whatnot. It's been challenging.
I seen the bottle.
It's been a spiritual journey, I would say.
You like 3/4 of the bottle, so
Yeah, I'm almost there, yo.
Yeah.
And yo, big shout out to Juicy J, Juice Bar, Josephine Jonah, the owner and whatnot, and she's doing the whole detox challenge. So if you're interested in doing a detox challenge and cleansing your body for 3 days and whatnot, definitely hit her up on the Instagram and the Facebook and all that. So yeah, that's me, man. But how have you been in 2020? Because it's been a while since we linked up, bro.
for sure. I just been maintaining. You
Yeah.
know, I felt like with everything that's going on, it was you gotta look at the kind of silver lining a little bit, and been actually taking time to focus, go back in.
Yeah.
And refocus actually, and focus more on mental health and physical health, and a lot of the things that otherwise would probably, sometimes you don't realize that you're running on E until you stop.
Yeah.
So I felt like this is a situation that kind of made me stop, made a lot of people stop. But my goal was to be as productive as possible with all this downtime. And, I've been teaching myself music theory, just been learning more about graphic design. I got my own setup at the crib, so I've been recording myself. So, even there's so much of a process in that, doing that, and just been constantly working and being productive. So, definitely trying to working to make the best of this downtime and just keep moving.
Yeah, because that's the key, man. Because when the end of March hit, and then they're telling us okay, certain establishments are closed because with us as entertainers and whatnot, we got to go to venues, restaurants, bars, and whatnot to perform, and everything stops. It's at first you're a little bit nervous, but once you figure out what's going on as a creative, you're just you know what? Here's another lane I got to create.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Know?
I feel like you just gotta find your angle. What works for you. Everything right now is just everything's so malleable. Everything is nothing. There's no rules to everything. Everything is just kind of go as you go. Go as it comes kind of thing. Obviously you can be proactive.
Yeah.
But you're finding this kind of put everybody at the standpoint where you gotta find what works for you.
Exactly.
And just explore different outlets, different avenues, and just just get deeper into your creativity, and just let that flow, man. But it's been very productive for me personally.
Yes.
Because I've learned a lot of things in this downtime. So.
And my second question is with the whole downtime and whatnot, what I realize is you're an amazing graphic art designer.
Oh, good
and
luck,
whatnot.
man.
So just letting people know when it comes down to some of my weekend mixes and then other flyers you might be see floating around the greater Hartford, New Britain, Bloomfield communities, this man has been doing a lot of artwork. And also you have, should I call it a clothing line or just merch? Because it's looking like a clothing line now. It's looking like it.
I feel like sometimes as artists you're limited to quote unquote merch, but realistically anything can be a clothing line.
Yes.
The thing or advantage we have as artists is we also have an additional avenue to promote the clothing, the merch.
Yes.
Say for instance, my last project that you had to be there, everything that I designed was in association with that. So each record had a quote unquote piece that was designed, that was linked to that gave that vibe and everything like that. But
and that's genius, dude.
I mean, realistically, it's been done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people are like are going that lane. So it's weird because I feel like I said, like, you know, with this downtime and, you know, and with the shutdown, I felt like a lot of places have popped up where like there's a lot of people that are like taking that avenue. So I feel like it's good that I was kind of already kind of had that mindset or you know, like drive and passion at least to kind of jump in that lane and just keep doing things like that. Like, I'm currently my goal is to be a brand myself.
Yes. Technically, you are a brand because the name changed from art.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was like an acronym, and then now it's ArtmuZeum. Explain the name change, and also that it's pretty cool.
Well, I always thought, well, my name initially was Art because I used to draw, and you know, when I started rapping, like, my name is Greg Moore, so I was like, you know, what's a dope name, like G Moore? And I'm like, that's not gonna get people in the seats, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, you know, I feel like your name should describe who you are, so I went with Art, and it's, you know, initially that stood for Against Reality's Terms, which I actually love still. But, you know, just growing and, you know, just, you know, the business aspect, when you search art, you get like a laundry list of people, and I'm like, in an effort to stand out, I thought, like, what is something that you know, I could say that, you know, represents me as a whole. So I'm like, all right, you know, me as a person, you know, I graphic design, you know, I'm an artist, I write for myself and others. I act. Every video that you've ever seen, I've had a hand in like directing and writing.
That's right. A couple years ago,
yeah. So like, I feel like, you know, I am the art museum.
Yes.
Whereas if you ever come to me or my brand, there's these different outlets or like that. Yeah, I present or I offer. So I thought it was dope, and, you know, it's museum with a Z. You know, because you just gotta. And
that stands out because what I was telling people to find you on Tidal and then also Spotify, and they were just like, well, how can I find it? Because there's a bunch of art designers. I mean, I was like, use the Z.
Yeah.
The Z makes it stand out. Yeah.
The ArtmuZeum.
Yes.
Yeah, and I feel like, as far as I know, there is no other The ArtmuZeum, but like there was like other artists from like around the world and other country named Art, and even with A period, R period, T period. So
wow.
You know, and I don't even want to fight that battle.
That's too much. That's too much leak. That's too much money,
it's
energy, and time.
Yeah. And realistically, the art is still in there. Like, people still call me Art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I thought that was, you know, a new vibe. You know, a new look, new energy, and everything. So yeah, went with the ArtmuZeum.
So third question, two-parter. Music in 2021. Where do you see it? And also, what is your game plan for 2021 when it comes down to like projects, events, performance, all of that?
Music in general?
Yeah, music in general, because I see a lot of virtual performances and whatnot, and I think when 2021, I should say, comes back around, comes around. As soon as we're done with these last 2 months of what we've been through, I feel like it's going to be like kind of like a co-op of like live and, you know, the whole like
virtual kind of.
Exactly, virtual and whatnot. Because I see the virtual popping off because I think Travis Scott did something earlier in the quarantine. Yeah. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of artists taking advantage of both.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like music's not going to stop. You know, music's one of those things, like, it's a thing that essentially everyone does. Like, I feel like on some level, you may not do it professionally, but, you know, I feel like a lot of people have that itch. And I feel like today with technology, it's way more attainable than it was some years back, where like you can legit set up and, you know, you don't have to go to a studio.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend X amount of money to get these sessions and this and that, which is beneficial to the artist because you can do it yourself. I mean, there is a bit of the organic atmosphere that's missing, and I feel like that comes out in the music because that element of being in the studio and around people is kind of contributes to the overall product.
The quality, the sound, the feel, but let's just say
sure.
You're trapped up a little bit, or you know, you're tight on time. having a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air and having like a program on it, you could do some amazing things.
Yeah, you good money.
Yeah.
But I feel like music's not gonna stop, man. It's always gonna be there as far as like performances and things like that. Connecticut is unique in that it isn't like the biggest culture in terms of like I don't know, how do you say this? I'm not even gonna be political. It's not the biggest culture of like supporting its artists in that it's a thing to go to a unsigned artist show. Yeah. Like it's not really a thing. Like it was a couple years back, and I feel like it kind of faded off. I feel like
because I felt like there was a lot of good steam going on between like 3 different venues when it came down to like.
I feel like the money aspect got into it because there was some really good. Like Musicology was an awesome event, you know, that G-Wiz and Steve, everybody over here that they put together. But it was some outlets that I felt like were taking advantage of artists, and I don't know if that's popular, but I don't really care. But
no, speak your mind. Shoot, we're on a podcast. Speak your mind, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it became a money grab.
Yeah,
and I think the essence of it kind of flew out the window. Along with. Also, the other things, at least in Hartford, for instance, everything started closing down. So it was less of an opportunity to go and perform somewhere because, like, you know, there was nowhere to go. But I feel like ultimately, people are gonna find a way.
They're gonna find
a way, and performance. I mean, you don't make music to kind of just put it on the shelf and sit there and everything. So I mean, that's the lavish part of being an artist. And I feel like it's gonna find its way. But yeah, for sure. I mean, me personally, I'm always creating. I'm still working on promoting my most recent project, You Had to Be There. And I locked in with the prestigious one on that joint. And we actually
big shout outs to that brother. He's been killing it for a minute.
Yeah, that's the homie, man. We actually started that project sometime last year. And we had a bunch of different, like, you know, we paused a couple different times, but like, and then obviously, you know, COVID happened, but we were able to maintain the vision and the idea all the way through, and You Had to Be There. For me, was one of those things that like, you know, like just a common saying. Like you take like a slice of life, you telling someone a story, and you might wrap it up with, and you had to be there. You know what I mean? Like, but I took that aspect and applied that to an overall body of work and just gave you different slices of life, and just kind of wrapped it up with that theme. But
because that's saying like, there's always been certain events in the past 10 years where the first thing you say is you had to be there. Like, because it's kind of like, okay, I don't want to offend any New England Patriots fans, but the first Super Bowl and whatnot, you had to be there for that. And then like events downtown Hartford, like you had to be there for that. So it's
a common saying. Yeah. People say it pretty often. Like you won't realize it, but I thought it was really catchy for me. Catchy, and also it's like it's me telling my story, and you know how it might mean something to you, you know what I mean, or it just has certain significance, and you just rap it. You had to be there. If you listen to the title track, it really sets the tone of like, you know, of the movie for the joint.
Yo, any shout outs and whatnot?
Well, shout out to you.
Blessing, like again, blessings for the artwork, yo, because something that I've been sitting on for a long time, like equipment and all of that, and when I couldn't move nowhere to you know, make music and make mixes, I found this, and then you saw what I was doing because I was asking for tracks, and then you just like, yo, I'm an artist. I do this artwork. You know, so blessings to you on that, bro.
Nah, man, good looks, man. Honestly, I appreciate it because you know how it is out here, and it's you've always been super supportive.
Yes, sir.
You know, you're the type of guy that, you know, I hit you up, you know, even if you don't do it immediately, you do it. You know,
dude,
what I mean?
even when I'm busy, I try, because it's real talent. And big shout out to, I want to say DJ QT put me on to you.
That's the homie.
You know, that's a big homie too. So big shout out to him. So, because for years it's just been this common brotherhood type of thing going on. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Hilarious, man. I swear, I can't go nowhere when he's there because you're gonna see us in the corner just dying laughing at something.
Because he always points out the craziest thing in the club.
This dude is hilarious. But shout out everybody, man.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the prestigious one who I did a project with. Like I said, it took some time, but we hunkered down and we worked together long enough that you keep it funky. Like sometimes that work relationship is kind of like you don't mind, like that's not it, or we try again, or what have you. So you gotta appreciate that. Right? Shout out to everybody. I feel weird because M. Dot's sitting right here.
No, he's chilling. But we big shout out to M. Dot from New Britain, yo. For real.
When I did the gray area, my last project, with the project before that, M. Dot came through big time, and he helped me with the location. So to this day, he did photos and everything. So I still appreciate that. Everybody that's working, man. Everybody that's chasing their dreams and everything like that.
Yo, dude, blessings on this interview. We're gonna do some more because pretty much you got more things popping off.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yo, dude, tell everybody your social media real quick, and then we're gonna do a quick intermission and get to the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, no doubt. Peace. This is the ArtmuZeum. You can find me on social media. On Facebook, my page is the ArtmuZeum. On Twitter, I'm at the ArtmuZeum. The same thing on Instagram. If you're into graphic art, I have a designed by art page, which is Design X Art, and on that page is specifically just all my graphic work and things I've done for myself and others. But You Had to Be There is available everywhere, and I mean everywhere. So before you think about asking, it's everywhere. It's on YouTube Music, it's on Tidal, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music, it's on Deezer, it's on literally everything. It's my most recent project. Is You Had to Be There. It's about 8 tracks on there. It's produced by the prestigious one. We got more on the way. We got some visuals coming up. And yeah, for sure.
Yo, blessings.
I got also I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
In the next couple weeks, I'm gonna have some more clothing or clothing designs, and it's gonna be. I want to tell you, but it's going to be, we're going to have something coming soon, and it's going to be
surprises.
The ArtmuZeum.
Okay.
For sure. We have something for this fall weather.
Yo, blessings, man, and keep that energy rolling, my brother.
For sure, man. Thanks for having me.
No doubt. We'll be back, y'all.
Yes, sir.